brand new, you're like, what's the hell's going on here? Oh my God. This is Cinema 4D. It's a graphic software. It's used for motion graphics, for which are like animated graphic design. It's used for special effects. It's used for modeling, 3D modeling. It's used for games, movies, film, television commercials, the web, graphic design, all kinds of different stuff. So it's a very popular industry software, and it's the owner of ZBrush, which we also use in class. So we're learning Cinema and ZBrush this year, and it's it's the same stuff that you see like when you watch television and you watch your movies and video games. This is one of the softwares they use. So what we have here is basically a 3D modeling software. We have our main menu bar up here, so I'll direct you by going to different menu bars and saying like go to mesh and go to conversion and do something for an example. We have some primitive building blocks that we'll work with, and some abilities to draw our own wire shapes and to turn those into 3D shapes, and all these modeling tools like do symmetries and bools and liquid effects and deformers to blow things up or bend them. We can animate with cameras. We have lighting, all this stuff. Okay, and we have our main moving tool over here. So that's all we really are going to learn the first day. So I'm going to make a primitive shape. We'll start with a cube, okay? And that cube is going to be dead center in this grid. This grid just keeps you grounded, gives you a work table. It just keeps resetting though. If you look at the little squares, they just keep resetting until you're gone. So if you ever like jack up your view and are like, oh my God, what happened? Where did it go? You have in your view palette menu bar an undo view. So you can go view, undo view, view, undo view, view, undo view, and keep going back until you get it back to the way it was. You can also just go click on an object in your objects palette here. Turns gold when you do that, and you'll see a little blue arrow and it'll recenter your screen. Anyhow, this moving tool allows us to click on these arrows of these axes to move our objects around, left and right, backwards, forwards, up and down, the 3 dimensions, okay? So you have green, you have red, you have blue, and those are represented by letters X, Y, Z, so that sometimes when you want to affect just a specific one, you can go to just if I only wanted to get the X, and I can see like what direction X is. It's red. How do I know that? I look over here, okay, and that's why they're led. Just like when you plotted shapes in algebra or whatever. Probably hated that, but the computer does this for you, so you don't have to worry about it. You can resize things by these little dots here. There's only 2 types of shapes really. There's primitives and polygon shapes. Polygon shapes are more advanced, so you can do more stuff too. Right now we're just working with primitives, so you have all these shapes here to begin with for today, and you can just hold down on your mouse and drag while holding down your mouse over to the one that you want. When you don't want it, you can select it over here and hit the big delete button on your keyboard and kill it. All right, so let's make a cube. I'm not moving it. It goes square dead center. You have all these little 4 arrows tools right here to move it and basically navigate around your 3D view. Why is this called 4D? Because we have a timeline, and some people consider time the 4th dimension because you can do animation in Cinema 4D. So 3D with time, 4D. All right, anyways, there is a menu bar here in the view palette, and there is a set of tools in the view palette. This is your view palette, and the way this works is by palettes. You have your tool palette, you have your objects palette, so whenever you make anything on your screen or model anything, it all appears over here in your objects palette, objects. And we're, as beginners, we're only using like not even half this stuff, so you don't have to worry about it. Everything has settings, so when I click on my cube, it shows me the cube settings. When I go make like a bulge deformer, which would bloat this out, it shows me the bulge deformer settings. When I have a material to use, like let's say an animated shader. It shows me the animated shader settings. So the attributes palette is basically equals the settings for whatever you select. All right, and then you have a measurements palette here for precise flipping and moving and positioning and scaling. And then we have a materials palette, so anything that's going to be, you know, feathers, stardust, flames, water, smoke, rock, wood, dirt, feathers, fur, glass, metal, wood, shiny paint, whatever it's going to be is a material. And we have a whole bunch of pre-built ones that are nice that you'll be able to use, and then you can also make your own, which we did on Practice Project Part 2. This is Practice Project Part 1. So you haven't watched that yet. Anyways, under where I have cube, I need to have 4 of these. So let's go to our view buttons first over here to kind of practice those. So we have the main view button here next to it. I'm going to make it blink on and off. That view button, if you click on it, shows you the 4 default views, which say what they are in the top corner. Perspective is where we're normally working, but you can put it on left if you wanted to. You have front, you can put it on back, and you have top, you can put it on bottom. It shows you the object in wireframe mode rather than with default shading on it, like you do in perspective. And that's because if you notice, they all have the same menu bar and the same 4 tools. So under their menu bar it says grout shading. You put on grout shading lines and see the segments or the polygons. You can put this over there on the same thing, grout shading and lines, grout shading and lines. If I want to work in just the top view, I click on the top view, and now I can work just in the top view. If I want to get back to perspective, I click on the view button right there. So that button right there, and then you go select the view button of the view that you want to work in. As easy as that. So today we're going to go and copy and paste that sphere. You can do it here under edit, copy paste, excuse me, or you can go over here and do copy paste under here. So copy and then back to paste. You want to look over here and see, because we do a lot of our work here in the objects palette, and you click on them to select them when you want to work on them. Do I have 2, but why don't I see it? They're in the same exact spot. So the top view is the best place to go for that, and that's where the next little button's going to come in, this one. That tool lets us zoom out a little bit. So when you click on that big fat arrow right there, that one, you can zoom in or out. So you're going to want to zoom out. The next one over is your little 4 arrows tool, and like this one right here, oops, sorry, that one right there, every time I click on it, it kind of throws me off while I'm zoomed in. Let's recenter. So I can zoom out and then drag it around. So you're going to want to see like basically one of these like larger grids. And so you can just, when you move it, you go to your move tool and you click on the arrow. You don't click on the object. There's a reason for that. I'll show you when we go back. So you click it out and you use the other arrow to line it up. So you go to edit, copy, edit, paste. Line it up with the arrows in the grid. Copy, paste. Line it up with the arrows, and like go clockwise or counterclockwise. So now we have 4 spheres. All right, so there's our spheres. Now, so we can zoom in or out. Sometimes you're like off to the side, and you gotta like zoom out and then drag your view over and then rotate a little bit better. You're constantly going back and forth between these 3 tools to adjust your view. If you don't, you're gonna get screwed. So get used to going over there right away, and you just hold down your mouse and drag it like left or right. Or up and down or at an angle to get those to move. You want all these perfectly in the corner, so let's make a second shape. So we'll go to a square, and we'll drop it down like halfway or something. And then, so I moved it by the green axes there if you just click on it until you get good, you're not, it looks like I put it in the upper corner there, but when we twist, it's optical illusion. I didn't do that, so it's hard to know exactly where you moved it. So we're more precise and more sure of ourselves when we click just on the little arrow and move it one direction at a time, that kind of thing. But I could copy paste in this view, but until I also get good, it's hard to line things up properly. So the best thing you could do is go to the top view again, and then you could quickly see if it's lined up or not. And the top view will limit you, and you can only move left or right or up and down because you're already in the top view. So this will also help you line things up better. All right. Third shape is the charm, so we're going to do a third shape. I'll make it like, I'll kind of adjust it, make it sort of a Chinese lantern type of thing. Then I will take that and go to my top view, copy paste. I'm hitting the keyboard shortcut Command C, Command V, but you just go over copy, then you go back and you got to do paste, and then you drag it into position, and then you copy it, and then you paste it again, and you drag it in position. Now at the end of this, which is almost done, if I end up with like an extra cone or something, then just select it and hit delete. Now what you want to do before you go to step 2, practice project, because we're almost done with this step 1, is adjust your view a little bit. Make sure you do file save as, that's how you save, because then you can direct it where to go and what to call it. Otherwise, save will go to the last open folder, which if you're sharing your computer could be someone else's. So save as lets you direct where you're going to go. But if you click on here, the computer should have named everything for you. So I want to click on sphere 1, and it shows me sphere 1. I can click on cube 1, and I can click on, or just cube, and I can click on just cone. If I go to sphere 1, then cube 1, then cone 1, they're all in a stack. Sphere 2 goes with cube 2 goes with cone 2, and then sphere 3. So I kind of just did counterclockwise each time. Or wait, no, I went clockwise as I set these up. So you just keep going in the same direction. You won't screw up your alignment or your setup. Okay. And so we can look at these from different angles with our rotation. We can zoom in and out. If it's off to the side, we can zoom back in or scooch it over or whatever we need to do to get it adjusted. And that ends step 1. After this, you go to practice step 2 and 3. So let's save this as, we'll call it practice step 1. Save it to your folder, and then you're good to go. And that ends